Let's kick off today's video with a question. How many of you guys go to the gym to train back, but when you leave, you feel like you got more of a pump in your biceps? And the reason why I ask this question is because you're not alone. There's a lot of people that just have a really hard time getting that mind muscle connection with their back workouts, even if they're going incredibly heavy on pull ups or lat pull downs or pen lay rows or any exercise where you can overload the back muscles. And I mean, I hate to say it, but it's for a very specific reason that's easy to understand, and it has to do with form. And I wouldn't even say every single instance is ego lifting. I just think that most of us are visual learners, and you could be watching other people in the gym, or you could be watching videos online of someone teaching a back exercise or a back workout where they're not even necessarily giving form cues, but most people are so conditioned to skip the bottom portion of a back exercise and end the exercise with a slight bend in their elbow on every single repetition that you're not getting the stretch in your lats that's required in order to truly activate the muscle and help it grow. And guys, having big lats, it's much more than just having that cool V-taper look when you're flexing in the mirror. You know, your back is also part of the foundation of when you're bench pressing. You could actually have a weaker bench press because your lats aren't as strong as they should be because you're having a hard time with lat activation. Think about that. So in today's video, we're going to fix that. We're going to talk about the best back exercise you're not doing. In fact, it's 2 exercises. And I'm also going to give you some form tips that you can apply to every back exercise. Now, in this article, and I'll post a link to it down in the comment section below, the info section below, right, guys? I talk a lot about the 3 muscle building mechanisms, which we don't really have to get into right now. Mechanical tension, which is lifting as heavy as you can. Muscle damage, which is the actual breaking down of the muscle tissue, which, you know, in order to maximize that, you want to use full range of motion, you know, and feel the stretch and those sorts of things. But metabolic stress is something that, you know, you guys should really pay attention to. It has to do with doing more volume in your workouts and more frequency. So you can take these 2 back exercises, add them to your current back workout if you want to. But if you truly want to see more gains fast when building any muscle group, you need to hit it twice a week, okay? You don't have to hit it like insanely hard both of those days, right? I'm not saying go to the gym and do like 7 exercises per body part. You know, I like to keep things simple. 2-3 exercises for your back on day 1, 2-3 exercises for your back on day 2 is all you need, and you'll start to see growth. And one of those exercises can be this one right here, which is going to be the weighted chin-up. Now, for the weighted chin-up, I'm having you guys do 6 to 8 reps, 6 sets. And the reason why I'm having you do 6 to 8 reps is because I want you to go as heavy as you possibly can. Now, if you can't do a chin-up or a pull-up, don't worry, I have a solution for that as well. We'll get to it here in a second. But the reason why I want you guys doing a weighted chin-up is because even if you can only do 1 or 2 pull-ups, you can usually get 5 to 6 chin-ups because you're incorporating more biceps into the movement. Now, in the beginning of the video, I asked you guys how many of you feel it more in your biceps and your lats when you go to the gym and train back. If you do this exercise correctly, you should still get more back and lat activation. And the way to do this exercise correctly is to make sure you're having a dead hang at the bottom of every single repetition. And when I say dead hang, I'm not saying you have to sit down there for 10 seconds. Literally do a 2-second or 3-second hang before engaging and going into the next repetition. If you guys are doing any back exercise and you sit in that hanged position, or if you're doing like a bent over row, you're sitting in that position where your arms are fully stretched and you're just letting your body feel the stretch in your lats, that's going to help increase your mind muscle connection. In fact, when I do pull-ups or chin-ups, and I hang in that dead hang for 2-3 seconds. 2-3 seconds is a long time. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Hanging like that with weight when you're tired is a long time. For those of you who plank, you know what I'm talking about. But in those 2 to 3 seconds of hanging there, you're going to feel your biceps disengage and your lats start to get on fire and feel that stretch in your lats. And then when you go to engage the next repetition, you'll start to realize that you are instinctively not just activating your biceps as hard as you can. In fact, it'll feel more like your hands are hooks and you're pulling down kind of like with your elbow, and you're getting more lat engagement while still obviously, engaging your biceps. So exercise number 1. And guys, of course, this video goes over all of this in great detail if you want to see visual cues for the exercises as well. But if you're a photo guy and you can learn from what I'm saying, this is all you're going to need. You can go to the gym right now. You can throw these chin-ups into your routine and you're off to the races. Now, if you can't do a pull-up or a chin-up and you're like, well, I can't do that, so what's the point? Just go over to the cable machine and do your reverse lat pull down there. It's the same exercise as a chin-up. But just make sure when you're using a cable machine, you're not leaning back. You'll see here my body is still vertical. We're utilizing a vertical pull on the back, okay? And I've talked about this in previous videos. When you train your back, you want to train it where you're doing vertical pulls, like a lat pull down or a chin up or a pull up or a reverse pull down here. And then you want your horizontal pulls, which is when you're doing things like a bent over row, a pendlay row, a cable low row, right? You want to incorporate both of those movement patterns into your back workout. So make sure you're not leaning back, keep your body straight. And I'd also add, as an extra tip, when you get to the top of the movement here, lean forward towards the pads that are on top of your legs and push your head through your arms. You'll get a much deeper stretch in your lats. The second exercise, and I would say like 99.9% of the people that I see in my gym that do this movement do it wrong. In fact, most gyms, unless it's like a bodybuilder gym, obviously, most gyms that I go to and I see people doing this exercise, they're doing it wrong. And I'm not saying that to talk smack or anything, obviously. And I help the people that I can when I see them doing this exercise. But, the cable lat push down, with a dumbbell, it's different. You can overload a bit more when you're doing like a dumbbell pullover. But this isn't a dumbbell pullover. This is a cable lat push down. And the goal here is to target your lats. But if you're going too heavy, that's going to affect how you're standing, because when you do this exercise, you're standing up, which means you can only push so much weight down before the weight starts pulling you up, right? Especially if you don't weigh a lot. So when doing this exercise, it's really important to make sure that you're focusing on quality reps. And that's why I'm saying I want you guys to do this as a finisher, 200 repetitions, 20 to 30 reps per set. So however many sets it takes you, if it takes you, 10 sets of 20 reps, fine. It's fine. You can totally do that. It doesn't matter. If you want to bump up to 30 sets and do less sets, 30 reps and do less sets, that's fine too. But if you're in that 20 to 30 range, I know that you're not going too heavy to where it's going to impact your form. So with the cable lat push down, guys, you'll notice this is proper form right here. And again, you can go to the video and you can watch me do it if you need the video version. But for a lot of you, I think this is going to be enough. You want to start in this position. You see how my knees are bent, my butt, I'm pushing it back. I have a slight bend in my elbows and the bar is as high as it can be. In fact, the bar is almost in line with my back. This is allowing me to get a solid stretch at the start of the repetition for every repetition. Most of you probably start like this, where you're standing up straight, you're raising your arms, but it can only go so high because the weight stack will touch. And you have more of a 90-degree bend here versus me with my arms all the way above my head. So how much more of a stretch do you think I have in my lats when starting in this position versus you starting here? The answer is I have a lot more of a stretch. But it goes even further than that. You'll notice in this position over here, I'm standing up straight. As I bring the bar down, I'm now bringing my chest up and pushing the bar into my thighs as hard as I can. This is also another reason why you shouldn't be going super heavy on this exercise, because if you're going too heavy, majority of you will not be able to, in this position with your arms outstretched and a slight bend in your elbow, bring that bar all the way down to your thighs and successfully push it there and activate all the muscles in your back. You're going to probably get stuck like 5 or 6 inches away from your thighs because you're going too heavy and probably too fast. But if you focus on this smooth transition of being here with your arms up and butt back, and then in the bottom position, your chest is up, the bar is down, and you're standing upright, you're gonna get a lot more back activation. And then obviously, as you go to restart the next rep, you're leaning forward. As you lean forward, you're pushing your butt back to get into this position right here. So look like this, don't look like this. And that's it, guys. Add this to your back training this week and let me know how it feels. And of course, make sure, guys, you're going down below, you're tapping that like button, you're leaving comments. All that stuff really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It really helps me out. Getting on track with posting 2 to 3 videos a week again so that I can help you guys fix your form, get more gains in the gym. And for those of you who didn't see this article last week when it was first posted, it's because you're not on my email list. So if you're not on my email list, all you have to do is go to my website, muscularstrength.com, scroll down a little bit to right here and enter your email, and you will get these emails twice a week. They're totally free. I'm not selling you anything, but I am linking you to more tips to help you increase your workouts and get more results in the gym. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.